This is a 1975 Toyota FJ40 Land Cruiser, and had it for a little while. For me, a little while is a couple months. Just kept it around because I've enjoyed it so much. 68,776 miles and counting as we drive it. Everything on it works great. The guy that I got it from had done a restoration on it. Power steering, power brakes. She's got the 4-speed. These trucks came with a 3-speed or a 4-speed. This one's got a 4-speed in it. Drives down the road nice and straight. I actually bought it over near Birmingham, Alabama, and I drove it home. It drives so good. I rarely drive vehicles home. In fact, if you look at, I've got a page on my website that says before you buy, read this. And on there, I don't remember which number it is, but one of the numbers on there says, don't ever drive a vehicle home if you just bought it, not a classic vehicle. Just because classic cars can just be unpredictable, and I pretty much tell people don't, you know, when you first buy a classic car, it's not the time to figure out its, you know, aches and pains or whatever. But this one was just in such good shape that I felt confident. I thought about trailering it, took it for a couple of quick drives, and I said, it's a Toyota. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a Toyota. And it's the first time I've ever actually had a classic automobile that's not American made, which is very cool. Well, I guess that's not true. I guess I have Volkswagens and things like that. I don't think about that sometimes, but anyways, I'm blabbering. Very cool truck. The thing I like about this truck is it's drivable. I've been watching these. I've always wanted one. They always come up in the $25,000, $35,000, $45,000 range because they're all perfect. Super clean under the hood. Just left that engine running for a second so you guys could hear it. Engine's got about 6,000 miles on the rebuild, and actually it's still a little bit cold. I just fired it up. Engine's got about 6,000 miles on the rebuild. Original Weber carb on it. Beautiful underneath the hood. Inner fender wells. There's a touch of rust on this truck, but very, very minimal. I'm going to show you in just a minute. But nothing under the hood. Super, super clean. So I just wanted to show that. Body is very, very straight on this truck. Take a step back and walk around it for a second. Like I said, it's got power steering. It's got power brakes. Of course, these are aftermarket Jeep wheels. It's got new BF Goodrich AT tires on it. Very nice. And like I said, this is a driver. And the reason that I really like this Land Cruiser is because it's off-road drivable. I just don't feel like I'm going to have so much money in it that I can't still use it for what it was made for. There is no way on earth I'm driving a $35,000 or $40,000 Land Cruiser through the woods. But a $15,000 Land Cruiser, I could do that. And so let me show you why. Like I said, the body's super straight on it. Hood's nice and straight. It doesn't have any damage or appearance of being off-roaded and being mistreated, which is really nice. Little tiny spot of rust here. You can see that's about the size of my thumb. Of course, it's a driver, so there's a couple of just little nicks and scratches. There's a little rust bubbling here underneath the paint. Rust bubbling here underneath the paint. And this is stuff that could be sanded down, POR 15. There's a dent here. And that's what you can see about the size of my finger. And a touch of rust bubbling under here. This spot right here. And a spot on the same side, just as the other. And right underneath the door on the rocker, this is the worst of all the rust. Try and get a real close picture of that. You can see that's about the size of my finger, so not massive. A couple of little bubbles there. And other than that, that's it. One of the reasons I do these videos is I try and nitpick the vehicle. Because 95% of the time somebody's buying a vehicle from us, we never meet them face to face and they're going off the video. So we want to be 100% honest about things. I've got the hard doors, and you can see that in the still photography. So if you look through the still photos, you'll see that I've got the hard doors. The windows need to be fixed. The regulators need to be fixed. The glass is in good condition. But I've been driving it with these doors on it, and I really like these doors because or actually taking the doors off completely is even better to give you that iconic kind of Jeep feel or off-road feel. So just a couple quick pops on these. And the only reason the owner didn't pop these all the way down is just makes it easier if you leave them up to take them back out. So in fact, these little doors right here are brand new. Little steel fakey or extra doors, which are really nice to have if you're off-roading and keep you protected from the elements. It's got an aftermarket steel roll bar in it, which is actually much better made than the original style. 18 bolts hold it in, so it is bolt in and bolt out. So if you were taking this vehicle to a car show a lot or something like that, you could take this off with 18 bolts and a friend help you pull it off. Take the top off and take the doors off. It would look super cool. I think they look so cool without the roll bars, but they're dangerous without the roll bars if you're going to be doing anything what it's made to be done. All the gauges work, and it pretty much retains its original interior and dashboard, except for, of course, the original radio would have gone here, and instead they've put in a RPM gauge, a tachometer, and a volt gauge, and the tachometer does work. Choke works, windshield wipers work. These are not the original seats. These are seats out of a Toyota 4Runner. They are extremely comfortable. They have multi-point moving positions, adjustable headrest, and the back seat does match. Now you can tell that the back seat is obviously not original because the original back seats would have gone here and come down ambulance style. And so this seat's more like a Jeep. And personally, I actually really like that. It's a lot more comfortable for a rider and if you're going a longer distance than sitting sideways and juggling sideways versus juggling forward and backward like normal. Super, super clean floor pans. Heater does work. The floor pans in the all throughout have been rhino lined. There is one single spot of rust on the entire underneath of the truck that I know of, and that is right here. There's a spot there I can just pretty much put my finger in, not barely, I can do it. Other than that, the floor pans are extremely clean and rust free. The frame rails are rust free. Four-wheel drive works great, and I did have to test it out, which is super fun. Inner fender wells, extremely clean. So I've already showed you all the rust on the truck that I know of. It does have a tow hitch on it, so you can hook up a tow hitch to it. These are brand new shocks. If you were going to do a serious off-roading, you might want to put like Rancho shocks on it or something like that, but these are great. This truck has really been mostly being driven on the road with the occasional off-road trip. Inner fender wells. Oop, I caught a piece of rust there I didn't see before. This is why I do the videos. And actually, yep, that is a little bit of rust there. Okay, there's another spot. That's why I do the videos. In fact, sometimes I find things when I'm doing these video inspection that I don't find, because this is when I'm looking at it the closest of all. Floor pan, really good. Looks like there was a little bit of rust there too, and some sort of a repair. Yeah, and then some of this just is undercoating. Like that's not all rusty right there. That's original undercoating. Like right there, that's original undercoating. This is far, far, far from a rust bucket, obviously. I just want to really be clear on that. Tires still look like new. Plenty of tread on them. I'd probably say they're like 80% new. They have been driven on. Oh, there is one other addition to this vehicle when it was restored. I just remembered. It does have an easy wire system. So now you have a very simple system for which you have your fuses and wiring. All the wiring works perfectly. I believe even the horn works. So there you have it. Super cool. Oh, the top is in excellent condition. I didn't inspect that during the video. It is not brand new, but if you cleaned it, it would probably look almost brand new. I mean, and it's clean now. I'm just saying, you know, some people get anal about detailing things. So if you sprayed it down with a tire shine or something like that, you could probably get it to look brand new. The top is in excellent condition. I actually drove it home with the top up, and I drove it home just like you see it right now. And I drove maybe 2 hours, and just drove really, really great. Gets really good gas mileage too. So I love it. This is just the iconic off-road vehicle from the 70s. I love it, I love it, I love it. I own a 1972 Jeep CJ5, and I can't tell you how hard it's been to not think about swapping out for this Toyota, but I've been overruled by my family. They want to keep the Jeep. So anyways, but this, if you're looking for a Jeep that's a Toyota, Land Cruiser that's super, super solid, this is what this is. Super solid. You're not going to have, you know, too much money in it. You're not going to have over 15,000 bucks in it. And you could buy this thing and drive it just like it is. Do absolutely nothing to it and just drive it. It doesn't need anything at all. Or spend a couple $100, fix up those little spots of rust. I mean, this is a sweet, sweet ride. Very mechanically reliable, and really, honestly, an awesome deal. I think it's hard to find these. I'm having a hard time finding these in this good a condition under 15 grand.